Discrepancies continue between the boxed beef and market value that actually goes into the hands of producers. Cattlemen are now asking the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate potential manipulation within the packing industry. Ken Herz with the Nebraska Cattlemen joins us now with more perspective. Thanks for joining us, Ken. Let's start with an update on the recent pricing practices and the windfall profits for beef packers.
Yeah, thank you very much. What you saw with the COVID-19 pandemic is the same thing we saw with the Holcomb fire. Feedlot bids go down, retail prices go up. It's really frustrating for a lot of members, for a lot of producers, because they see their equity moved on down the line. There's something basically wrong what's happening here. It's happened twice now, so there's a lot of questions being asked.
Yeah, you know, we're hearing a lot on our social media pages, cattlemen sounding off like we typically don't actually see. Now, you're requesting a DOJ investigation on the matter. What are your hopes there?
Well, the reason we asked for the Department of Justice is because USDA has looking into this with the Packers and Stockyards Act. We feel they can't go in depth like what they really need to. That's why we're asking the Department of Justice to become involved. They can widen the scope of the inquiry over what USDA is doing. They also have the expertise and resources to have this really in-depth investigation, and we think this is really important.
You know, many say this is already something that was a problem. It's just been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. How do you see this investigation helping to restore the confidence of cattle producers in the market?
Well, number one, we got to make sure there's nothing illegal going on within the beef production system. You know, this beef production system is something that we need to look at and in depth. Our first step is ask the Department of Justice to make sure there isn't anything illegal. But there are things that we have to really focus on to correct what's going on. We see this the business model probably not being what it should be. Like I said, the producers take all the risk. Anytime there is some type of disastrous event, the equity moves away from the producers. It moves into the packer sector. And on the other end, the consumer, they see an increase in price too. So we have to look at what's going on. But this is the first step of really addressing what's happening in the industry.
Absolutely. And what would you say to producers who are listening right now, just to offer them some encouragement that you are looking into this and taking this very seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're working every day of the week. We're working nights. We're working weekends. We're doing everything we can. One of the things that we became involved with right away was the CARES Act. There's $9.5 billion that's going to be distributed to cattle producers. We hope that a lot of people call this a stimulus. It's absolutely not a stimulus. It's a recovery type of money for these people. We have to try to keep them in business while we figure out what's going on. And so we're looking to get that money out as quickly as we can. And in the meantime, we are doing everything we can to try to figure out what is happening to our industry as we see these events unfold on us.
Okay. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Ken Herz with the Nebraska Cattlemen. Hopefully you'll keep us updated. We look forward to talking to you in the future.